Hello, everybody. I am jumping on today to talk about comfort zones and why we should have a why. So on Wednesday, on what's it called? What You Want to Know Wednesday on The Sky's the Limit, I am going to be talking all about my why. Today, I am going to give you a little bit. You can have the sneak peek. It may be the whole thing. Who knows? Because I do get carried away. But I'm jumping on today not only to tell you a little bit about my why, but why you should have one, and what it means to have one and what you can achieve. So first of all, I'm going to pull up this little thing. So this I found quite interesting. I literally just typed in comfort zone and looked up images. But something that resonates with me, something that I find works best. So this is your comfort zone here. Now that is where you are right now. That is everything that is happening because you're in your little comfort zone. Now, what I find is, this is me personally. I don't know about you guys. You might be pushing those boundaries, but I'm not. And I know I'm not. Let's see if I can bring me up on a smaller screen. Let's have a look, see. Because you all want to see my face, don't you? Oh, maybe not. Computer doesn't want you to see my face. There we go. Let's move me over here somewhere. There we go. Is that all right? You can't tell me because I've done it prior. This isn't live. Anyway, there is a picture of me down there. I don't know why. That's random. Okay, so there's your comfort zone. Now that's where I am. I'm comfortable here. That is why it's called a comfort zone. This bit here is the hardest. So just finally getting out and doing those things that you wouldn't normally do, they're the scariest, but they're the first step that you need to get to success, to get to the growth part, which is the bit here, obviously, but the bit that you really want in life. So the thing that is going to get you up in the morning, get you excited to continue doing this business because you want that certain thing. Now, only you can decide on what that is. Now, like I said, mine has changed over the years. I've never been asked this question before. So only since I started Scentsy have I been asked, why am I doing this? What do I want out of life? Where do I see myself? What's my vision? No one's ever asked me that. Not anybody. Okay, in primary school, I think I was asked, where do you see yourself in 10 years? But that's absolutely ridiculous, because where I see myself in primary school in 10 years' time is not where I am now. I never thought I'd be in party planning type business. It was not for me. I should really get back to this little comfort zone, but I never see myself doing this. So, to even ask me 5 years ago, where do you see yourself? Again, I would never have picked this. I'm absolutely loving it. That is why I'm still here, because I'm enjoying it. You've got to enjoy it. If you're not loving what you're doing, then your why won't happen, because your why might be big enough. I personally don't think, you guys can disagree with me. Oopsie daisy. Let me bring my camera back up. See, there's my beautiful family. This is just going to continue to shut down on me. So anyway, your why needs to be big enough. And even if it is, I honestly think you really need to enjoy the business you're in. You need to love it. You need to use the products. Otherwise, can you see me? I bet you I'm not even that big. So I don't want to redo this video. So you're going to have to bear with me. Anyway, so yeah, your why has to be big enough, but at the same time, you have to love it. You've got to use the products. You've got to share your story, because otherwise it's a dead-end job again. And that is why we're doing this business, because we want to get to our why, but we want to enjoy the journey getting there. If you are absolutely hating Scentsy and you think that it's not going to get you to where you want to be because you hate it, you don't like doing the parties, you don't like getting up and doing the sales and messaging people and whatever, then what are you doing? That's me just being realistic, and I love it. That's why we're all doing it. That's why you're still here, I would presume. And yeah, so your comfort zone, we'll bring this little picture up again. This comfort zone is nothing's going to happen in here. The same old, day in, day out, what you're doing right now, getting the party a month or 2 parties a month, whatever that is, even if you're just, plodding along and you're happy, that's fine. That's your comfort zone. But if you are wanting to get to here, you need to go through these zones first, okay? So the first is the hardest. The first step, have you ever heard the first step is always the hardest? So this is where you are going to lack your confidence. You are going to be scared. You're going to find any excuse not to do it. Oh, it's that woman on the desk again. I'm not going to walk in today because, she's a grumpy thing. She won't buy Scentsy. So you're not going to walk in with that borrow bag that day because of lack of self-confidence, fear of someone saying no. You're finding an excuse. So... and there you go, you're affected by others' opinion because you're scared of people saying no. So that's your first step. You know what? If you walk in there, you are, whether they say no or yes, you're going to be so proud of yourself because you've got through that. You're already past that. It doesn't matter if it's a borrow bag or a party. Simply asking the question, hey, have you ever thought about opening your own account? If you haven't asked that question before, that can be quite scary. The fact that you are going to push through those boundaries, those limits, you're going to not worry about, what they say. You're not going to worry about, because you don't know how they're feeling. You don't know they're going to say no. They may have never been asked the question before and they may go, oh my God, she thinks that I can do this. So anyway, you need to get through that fear. Once you've got through it, you're into the next bit. You are learning. It's getting easier because you are extending your comfort zone and you're learning more about what to do and what not to do. And it's just like in any sort of, it's not necessarily business related. It's just everyday life. One step at a time will finally get you there. Now, once you've learned a little bit, you've done it. You're taking it on the chin if they say no. You're not taking it to heart. You're dealing with the challenges and the problems ahead. You know what could be happening, but you're not going to, you're not just going to presume that they're going to say no. You're already past that because you know what? That old cranky lady, because you walked through and you did it and she ended up taking a catalogue or she was super nice, whatever, you got through that. So you know that not everyone's going to be that cranky person. You're going to go through there anyway. You are at the growth zone. That doesn't mean that you're a millionaire. It doesn't mean that your goals or your dreams have come through. But you're getting one step closer as you get through here. You are getting closer to your goals and your dreams. When it doesn't matter how long it takes you, this bit here could be the longest. It could take you a few months to finally walk into that business. But you know what? When you did, you got there and it's easier to get to the next step. Okay? You know this job, this career path that you've taken is like a roller coaster because you are going to get the no's and you are going to have that self-confidence. You just need to keep on going, one step in front of the other. You are finally going to get to your happy place where you are lying on the beach with your kids, or you're on that cruise, or you're in that new car, or you're in that new dress, or you've joined the gym and you couldn't afford it beforehand. Whatever your goals are, big or small, you are going to get there by getting out of your comfort zone. That is the first step. Now, let's bring me back up because that's just my little 2 cents. Take it or leave it. I was never asked why. What is your why? What is a why? A why is important. What do you want in life? Choose one and only one. So what is important to you? You need to find that one thing. It may take you a little while to think about it, but you really need to think about it. It doesn't matter if it's a small why, because it can, once you learn, because when I first started this business, Martina kept saying to me, that is not a goal. That is not a this, a that, because I didn't really understand it. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, Martina, it is. I don't understand. Like, I'm happy doing this. I'm happy mentoring my little team. But she kept on at me and it finally cracked. It got to me and I went, yeah, no. I would much prefer to be lying on a beach every day, reading a book, than working. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I understand what she meant is, what is your end goal? So, okay, yeah, we have little goals, step by step. So, I'll tell you a bit about my why. My camera will probably flip, so just bear with me. My why. This has changed many times over the 3 years with Scentsy. Why? Because I've achieved my small goals. I've worked hard, but also life does change and obstacles come in my way. Having a why does help you stay on track and bring you back to reality. At the beginning, it was to quit my day job, working in daycare, nannying, and I was also cleaning. So cleaning, daycare, and nannying, as well as Scentsy. Hubby is also FIFO, and I have 2 boys. I don't know how I did it myself, but I did. And guess what? 2 years ago, for the last 2 years, I've been working solely on Scentsy. See, there you go, it's gone. So 2 years now, and I've been working solely on Scentsy. So it took me a year to finally quit all my other jobs. I slowly cut back. So I stopped my, what did I stop first? I stopped my nannying, childcare, then cleaning. And now I'm doing just Scentsy. So that was my first goal, to stop that 9 to 5 working in childcare and cleaning and all that sort of stuff. That was my first little goal. My next why was to have hubby go to 8 and 6. So he was working 2 weeks on and 1 week off for 8 years. And he'd missed out on a lot of time with my children. So my goal was to get into 8 and 6, which is 8 days on, 6 days off, so he could spend more time with us. And guess what? That happened. So when I hit director back in October, hubby got asked if he wanted to do this role, which was 8 and 6, and he took it. We were a bit nervous at first, and he took it, and I wouldn't look back. So he's been doing that a year now, because it's October. So he's been doing 8 and 6 for a year. And of course, we have to come up with another goal. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge one. It doesn't have to be a life goal. Unfortunately, my next one is, so it's a bit scary. But this next one was to take my kids on a cruise. So I earned my first incentive in June last year. Well, before that, but we went on the cruise around Europe in June last year. And my husband and I had such a great time. And we said then and there that we were going to take our kids on their first cruise. So a year later, we booked that cruise. We are actually leaving in 2 weeks' time. We fly to Sydney, and then we're going on an 8-night cruise around the Vanuatu Islands. So my goal came true. I'm not going to say, my goal came true. It's like a wish. My goal happened because I worked for it. I put it down. I told people. Carly knew my goal was to take my kids on a cruise. The amount of time she said, just book it. Oh my God, book it. I actually wrote it down on my vision board. I did a vision board in New Zealand in February. I think it was late February, early March. I did a course with Mary Christensen in New Zealand, and we had to do a vision board and write down and draw pictures and whatnot of what we wanted to do, where we wanted to be in the next, I think it was 12 months. Now that was in March. I came home and I booked it not long after. I think it was about June, so a year after my last cruise. And like I said, we're going 2 weeks. So that was my next goal, to save enough money to be able to take my kids on a cruise. So very excited. So they do happen, but you have to write them down. You have to tell people. You have to put a date on it. So you can't just write, I want to be here or go here or do this at some point in time. You need to kind of have a goal. You need to have a date, 12 months, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. So I booked it. We go in 2 weeks. As much as I want my next goal, my current why, it's scary to even say. I would love a 2-story house in a suburb just one over, which is Jindalee, which will be on the beach. I want to be living on the water in a 2-story house, but I know I have to work my butt off. And where I'm currently sitting in my comfort zone, I ain't going to get there. There's no friggin' way. Now that hubby's 8 and 6, I love, love, love all my holidays that I have. For me to continue the life that I'm living right now, and I could kill this computer. I'm sure there's a way to keep it on longer. To continue living the life I am living now and be able to go on the holidays, even if it's just 1 or 2 a year, that's my thing. Not everyone's the same as me. Not everyone likes going on holidays, or not everyone can or will go on holidays. But that's my thing. I love going on holidays. And living in a 2-story house on the beach with hubby doing 8 and 6 and me doing solely Sensi scares the bejesus out of me. But it's doable. I don't see it happening in the next year or two, because obviously I want to continue with my holidays. If it was just that, then I could put my head down and do that. But I want to live the life we're living now, but in a nicer house. And to be honest, if I had to pick one or the other, it would be to continue living in my beautiful home that I've got now and do slight renovations to it. Because I don't want to give up that quality time, my little trips that we do, even if it's just down south or to Bali or whatever. I like to do that. So that's my thing. That's always been my thing. It's kind of the reason why I joined. So my why at the very, very beginning, when I didn't realise what whys were, was to earn an incentive trip because I like holidays, and I did it. And like I said, the whys will change over time. Mine probably change a little bit more frequently than others. But probably because I set reasonable goals, not ones that are too out of reach, but they're not where I'm in my comfort zone. However, this next one, like I said, is huge, and it's not going to happen with me in my comfort zone. I have to step out of it. I have to do a lot more. I want to work with my girls more. I want to do markets with them. I want to do more training. I want to walk into more businesses. I want more parties, more markets, more, I want it, and I need to do it, and I need to be more organised. And that's been something I've needed to do for 3 years, is get more organised. So yeah, my goal's huge this time. Just because I'm a director, just because I'm a leader, does not mean that I'm outside of my comfort zone. I am in my comfort zone, and I have been here for quite some time. I do find that business does come back because obviously word of mouth, and customers do continue coming back because I follow up, or because they message me and say they need more stuff. So because I'm not reaching out to people all the time, I find that I'm quite comfortable where I am, and I'm not moving at all to where I want to go. That's why my goals have and will be quite reachable. Definitely I have to get out of my comfort zone, but I don't have to be out there too long. So for me to take this next step, it is quite scary, and I haven't said it out loud just yet. So I'm a bit nervous because Carly's going to be on my back now. So yeah, I need to step up. You need to step up. But that's what this group is for. This group is not for us to just sit here and tell you what you should be doing and giving you homework. This is a place where we can come together and help each other out, hold ourselves accountable, each other accountable, lean on each other. And as we get new teamies that are hitting start and bringing in big teams, we can add them to a leadership group where we can all continue to grow together. I'm just reading it. So yeah, if you stay in your little bubble, you're not going to achieve those amazing goals that you are wanting. So, you do want that vision, that end, how you see your life. And I have achieved little things in life. I would love to just do this solely, me and my husband, so we can travel and we can live in that dream house, and not have to worry about money. So that is realistically a dream. But, you know, a house is just materialistic things. So as long as I get my little family holidays and stuff, then I'll be happy. But I would love, that's my goal, to work my little butt off doing Scentsy and telling you in a few years' time that I have bought a house or building a house along the beach. So watch this space, guys. So yeah, that's my why, and why it's important to have a why, because it doesn't matter if you're star, superstar, director, superstar, you always need to have a goal. You always need to have a direction. You will eventually run out of steam. And like they say, it's like getting in a car with no petrol and driving around aimlessly. You are going to burn out. You're going to run out of petrol because you're not sure where you're going. You're going to end up in the middle of nowhere with nothing that you wanted in, you know, because you never had a goal to start with. And if you don't write it down and tell people, you forget those goals. And like I said, life gets in the way. You lose motivation, you lose steam, and you forget about it, and something else will come up in the way, and you'll go, oh yeah, let's go here, let's do this, and you'll forget about that big dream that you were wanting so badly. So just have a think about it. You don't need to rush. Sit back and have a think about what it is that you really, really want. Do you want your hubby to come home from FIFO? Do you want to open your own hair salon? Do you want to be able to buy an investment property or start the gym because you haven't been able to start the gym because you don't have enough money for a membership, or you want your own home, you want that, you know, I want to say that dress, but that dress isn't a huge goal. That's quite reachable. But, you know, you need to have little stepping stones. So if you want that little dress, you know, write it in and aim for that first, but you need to have that end goal, that end vision, and take it step by step. So hopefully I have not bored you too much. If you are watching this, please press hashtag replay, type it in so that we know you've watched it, and let me know what you think and how many times your why's changed. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. See you later.